Hi, welcome back to Sophie's Books, or if you're new here, a very warm welcome. It's great to have you here. My name's Sophie, and in today's video I'm going to be unboxing all of the BookBox subscription boxes that I received in January. So I have 5 boxes for you today, 1 locked library, 2 FairyLoot, so FairyLoot Adult and FairyLoot YA with the items. And I also have Illumicrate's Fantasy with the items, and then also the Evernight quarterly subscription. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video if you enjoy it, and also subscribe to my channel for more of my content if you haven't already. So let's get started with the unboxings. Just a quick note that I'm not sponsored or affiliated in any way with any of these book subscription companies. So I think I'm going to start with the locked library. So this is a book only subscription, and they're generally quite fantasy leaning. They also do have a romantasy box, which is specifically romantasy books, but I don't subscribe to that one. I only subscribe to the standard locked library one, which is generally fantasy. So let's see what we have. And then, as usual, we have it wrapped in the beautiful black tissue paper with the sticker. As usual, I've probably been spoiled for most of these boxes, but I'm very bad at remembering them, so let's see what we've got. I always hate to tear this tissue paper. Let's see. Ooh. So we have Silver and Blood by Jessie Mihalik. So I haven't read anything by this author. I'm not sure if this is perhaps a debut. So yeah, I'm not sure what it's about, but I'm liking this edition. I like the blue colouring that we've got, and we have some really pretty sprayed edges here. Lovely blue with some swords. Yeah, I don't think I've had a lot of this kind of blue in subscriptions recently. It's been a lot of purple, which is nice. So yeah, here is the cover, and then here is the back. So we have some text on the back. You have such magic in you, but it burns too bright. And then I'm not sure if there's, there is some pretty customizations here. So there's nothing on the reverse of the dust jacket, but we do have this lovely printed hardcover, and I just think this is so pretty. And then, as usual, we have the key detail on the spine, so they all match up. And then we do also have some very pretty artwork here in the front. And then, oh, it's different in the back. So I will read the synopsis to you, as I'm not sure what this one is about. So it says, there's something in the woods. Sent into the forbidden forest to slay a vicious beast, untrained mage, Riela, is quickly outmatched and overwhelmed. But just as despair closes in, a scarred, strikingly handsome stranger with moonlit magic appears and turns the tide of battle. Riela awakens from her injuries to an enchanting castle, and within it a strange wolf and the surly man who saved her life. She soon learns Garrick is both more powerful and far deadlier than a mere mortal mage, but thanks to a century-long curse, his powers are weakening. Trapped in his castle and surrounded by the treacherous woods, the spark of attraction between Riela and Garrick slowly ignites into fiery desire. But the more they discover about Riela's magic, the more suspicious Garrick grows of her identity. As they unravel the secrets and lies connecting Riela's past to Garrick's, the tenuous threads of trust between them start to fray. Could Riela's life or her death be the key to regaining everything Garrick has lost? So it does sound a little bit romantasy leaning to me, but yeah, it seems to have some kind of wolf character and mages, so yeah, it sounds very interesting. But yeah, I'm going to have to see how I get on with the latest locked library books, as I am considering cancelling the subscription. I think if I compare it to some of the other BookBox subscriptions, this is a little bit weaker in the customizations, and I'm not really as interested in these books as I am in the other subscription boxes. So we'll have to see. But it sounds really good. So next, I will probably move on to the FairyLoot. So we're going to start with the FairyLoot Adult monthly box, and this is the book only subscription. Ooh. So the theme of the month is Divine Rebellion. And then we have the book. And this is Graceless Heart by Isabel Ibanez. And yeah, I think I have read a couple of books by this author before and I really enjoyed them. So this looks very interesting. I think this is actually a very pretty cover. So it says on the back, "Love is the most dangerous magic." We have some very pretty edges that seems to be very Florence inspired. So yeah, these are stunning edges. And then let's have a look. There's normally a reverse dust jacket. Yeah, so this is the original cover. And I think again in a different colour. But yeah, that is beautiful. And then we also have a very pretty naked hardcover. This is stunning. Lovely gold foiling on the naked cover, and then the back is different. And I'm actually already really excited about this. I went to Florence a couple of years ago and really liked it. So yeah, I'm loving this beautiful artwork. She is so pretty. Okay, so I will read the synopsis. I'm not sure exactly what it's about. As a sculptress, Ravenna Maffei has always shaped beauty from stone, but she has a terrible secret. Desperate to save her brother, she enters a competition hosted by Florence's most feared immortal family, revealing a dark power in a city where magic is forbidden. Now a captive in the cutthroat city, Ravenna is forced into a dangerous task where failure means certain death at the hands of Saturnino del Luni, the immortal family's mesmerizing but merciless heir. But as he draws her closer, Ravenna realizes the true threat lies beyond Florence's walls. The Pope's war against magic is closing in, and Ravenna is no longer just a prisoner, but a prize to be claimed. As trusting the wrong person becomes lethal, Ravenna must survive the treacherous line between the Pope's obsession and the seductive immortal who might be the end of her, or surrender her power to a city on the brink of war. Graceless Heart brings to life Renaissance Italy and is as dark, lush and epic as it is romantic. And actually, although I've read this author before, I wasn't really drawn to kind of pre-ordering this book. So I'm actually really glad it's come in the subscription because it sounds really good. And I'm really excited to read this one. So next, let's do the FairyLoot Young Adult box. And this is the one with the items. So this is a bit of a full box this month. So I'm wondering what's in there. So let's have a look. So we have, the theme is Hearts in Flight. And I think I actually do remember what book this is. So let's do the items first. So we have 6 Crimson Cranes sugar pot, and I don't think I've had any kind of sugar pot before. We've had a lot of other crockery and kitchen bits, but don't think a sugar pot yet. So let's have a look. I do like 6 Crimson Cranes. I did read it and I still have a few more books of Elizabeth Lim to read. But yeah, I did really like her writing, so this is going to be very pretty. And yeah, it really is. So we have the cranes on the pot and then a paper crane on the lid. So that goes on there, and then a spoon. The spoon is plain. So yeah, that will go in there. And then the lid goes on there. I don't have a lot of sugar, so I'm not sure if I'm really going to use this, but maybe for baking. And then we have a Dance of Lies e-reader strap. I don't read a lot of Kindle books, but I do have one. And really I should start reading some of my digital books as well. I've got a lot on Kindle as well as physical. But yeah, oh, this is very pretty. Just a little strap for your e-reader. Yeah, that's very pretty. And then we have a notebook. So this is a Once Upon a Broken Heart notebook by Stephanie Garber. So that's a series that I have read the first book of and I need to finish. But yeah, this is very pretty. It's pink, quite bright pink. But yeah, let's have a look into this. If I take this off. So yeah, with the fox, it's very pretty. And then it is a lined notebook. And it has some gold foiling. That's very pretty. I do have a problem when it comes to notebooks though. I don't like to write in them because I don't want to ruin them. So I do need to get over that and just start using the notebooks. I've got quite a lot that I need to use up. And then we have the overlays, so I'll show you those in a minute. And first we will look at the tarot cards and then I will show you the book. And it's actually very interesting because these tarot cards are not inspired by the book. These are inspired by The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. So we have Temperance. And then we have the Devil. And they are really pretty, those. So here is the book of the month. And we also have the matching bookmark, which matches the theme of the month. And then the book is The Swan's Daughter by Roshani Chokshi, and this is really pretty. I actually really like this colour, the nice cream with some pink and green detail and the swan. And on the back it says, "To find love is a curse," and again it continues the pink flower detail. And then we have the edges that kind of match. I feel they could have been swans instead of the key, but I don't know the details of the book, so maybe that's really important. But we have another beautiful naked hardback. I think FairyLoot have been doing a really good job with these recently. And this is such a pretty pink. Then on the back. And we do have a reverse cover. And again, this is the original cover. I'm not sure if it's a different colour, but she is very pretty too. So I haven't actually read anything by this author. I do have a couple of her books on my shelf, but I haven't yet got to them. But this one looks really beautiful. And we have some beautiful artwork. And again, oh, it's different in the back, and that is just really pretty. So I will read the synopsis, as I've heard of this book, but I'm not sure exactly what it's about. Prince Aris knows that marriage means murder. After a poorly worded wish generations ago, all one needs to rule the Isle of Malice are the heart and hand in marriage of the kingdom's heir, regardless of their survival afterwards. Aris's only chance at a long life is true love. When his parents announce a tournament of brides, a throng of beautiful bachelorettes arrive at the castle, but Aris cannot tell who is there out of love for him or lust for power. His only hope is Demelza, a veritas swan who has fled to the castle for sanctuary. Demelza's song rings truth from lies, and so they strike a deal. Aris will hide her in exchange for help to sort through his potential brides. But when love and truth become impossibly tangled, the two must decide what is more important, mere survival or chasing a life worth living. I think it must be based on fairy tale. It sounds very much like it. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this one, and it is very pretty. So let's have a look at the overlays as well. These are pretty. Oh, these are really cute. Hope you can see that okay. This one. And then this one. So the spoiler card will tell me where I need to place those in the book. And I haven't actually read very many books with overlays yet, but I have got a few that I need to get to. So I'm looking forward to using overlays at some point soon. So that was the FairyLoot Young Adult box. I'm thinking that the items are not as good this time. I mean, there's some pretty ones, but I think there have been some better boxes with better items, but the book is really pretty. So next I'll move on to the Illumicrate ones. So we have, first I will probably do the Evernight one. So this is their horror subscription, and I really love the customizations on this one. The books are always so beautiful, and I haven't read all of them yet. I've read a few of them and actually really enjoyed those I've read. So this is a really good subscription if you like horror. So here is the book. Oh yeah, I have seen this book and I'm really interested to read this one, but I didn't realise it was part of this subscription. So we have We Call Them Witches by India Rose Bauer. And this is one that I saw that I thought was really interesting. So yeah, I'm liking the dark kind of green colour palette. And then we have this on the back cover. And then we have some quite detailed sprayed edges. I'm not sure if you're going to see them very well. But again, another really beautiful naked hardcover, and this is stunning. Very witchy vibes here. And we don't have reverse dust jacket art, but we do have some in-cover art. Whoa. So yeah, this one already I can see this looks like the kind of book that I enjoy reading. Let's see. So Britain, 2 years after they came. Most people have been devoured by the eldritch creatures. Sarah and her family have been fighting for survival. And the only thing that works against these monsters, these witches, is their knowledge of folklore and pagan rituals. When a girl named Parsley suddenly appears in the garden of their current camp, she cannot remember where she came from or why she's there. As Sarah and Parsley begin to develop feelings for each other, disaster strikes, and Sarah's younger brother Noah is snatched by the witches. Determined to find him, they set out across desolate moors full of merciless terror to hunt the very creatures they've been hiding from. Can they succeed in saving Noah? Will Parsley and Sarah's burgeoning love survive these bloodthirsty witches? And who can Sarah trust in a world devoid of humanity? This literally sounds like a book that is right up my street, and I'm gonna probably put this towards the top of my TBR, as I'm really excited to read this. And I do think out of all the subscriptions that I have, Evernight is my favourite. So now we're at the last box, and that is Illumicrate's monthly box. And this normally comes with a kind of fantasy book and then some various fandom inspired items and some neutral fandom items. So let's see what we've got here. So the theme of the month is Power of Death. And I do personally feel that Illumicrate's items are a lot better than FairyLoot's. Not that I'm trying to keep comparing the two, but generally I do really love Illumicrate's items. They always seem to be very high quality. So here we have some ceramic bowls, and I've had a few sets of ceramic bowls from them, and they are very pretty. So let's see. Petals and Poisons. And they normally come in kind of complementing colours. So we have black and white here, and this is very pretty. We have like grave detail and skulls on the edges. That is very pretty. And then this one must have poisons. Yeah, so this has the poisons. I hope you can see this. And yeah, I do love their bowls. I don't really use them for like food or anything. Mainly I just use them for decoration, but they are very pretty. Then more packaging. Then we have some socks, Magic in Mortem socks, inspired by the Foxglove King by Hannah Witton, which I still need to read, but these are very pretty socks. They're stuck in there, but they are really pretty. And I do love BookBox subscription socks. They're always quite good quality, even though I expect them not to last very long. They are really good. And I'm not actually sure what the bowls are inspired by. Let's see if we can find out. No, they're just inspired by magic and poisons. So no particular fandom, so that's a fandom neutral item. And then we also have Storybook Setting Location Magnet. And this is inspired by the Arcana Academy by Elise Cover, which I haven't read. So let's see what we've got. So yeah, this is pretty. So did it say it was a magnet? Yeah, so it's a magnet. Yeah, that is pretty. Next we have Bringer of Spring reusable cotton bowl covers inspired by The Poet Empress by Shen Tao, which I think is the book of the month. So these are bowl covers, so let's get them out if I can open this. Oh, these are quite good ones because normally they just lay on top, but these actually have the elasticated thing, so you can pull them over the bowl. So 3 different sizes. Yeah, they do have quite a lot of useful kitchen items in Illumicrate's boxes. And finally, let's get the book of the month. No, nothing more in there. This one looks really pretty and I'm liking the colours for this. This is stunning. So this is The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. And I actually really love the orange colours because normally you'd get some kind of pink with these kind of covers. And the edges match. And then we do have the artwork, which is pretty. And then let's see if it's different in the back. Yeah, different in the back. And it seems to be that most of these books have really beautiful naked hardcovers. This one has oranges, I'm assuming. I mean, they may not be oranges. But yeah, that looks really pretty. And this looks to be some kind of Asian inspired fantasy, which I do really like to read. Illumicrate have done a lot of Asian inspired fantasy and I've really enjoyed the ones that I've read. So, House of the Azalea, where thorn meets bud. Brother betrays brother, blood forgets blood. Young rice farmer Yin Wei was forced to become concubine to Prince Guan Terran, a monstrous wielder of poetry magic, and heir to the Azalea throne, to save her family from the famine blighting the land of Tensha. Now confined to the imperial court, Terran's cruelty is not the only danger Wei faces. He and his honourable older brother are locked in a deadly succession war, while Terran's 30 concubines are fighting a war of their own for the position of future empress. To survive, Wei must harden her heart, rely on her wit, and become dangerous herself, even if it means learning the one forbidden poem that can kill Terran and save both herself and the nation. But there's a problem. For the spell to work against a man she hates, it must be written with love. That actually sounds really interesting, and yeah, I love this. I think this is beautiful, and the spine is very pretty as well. So yeah, that is all of the books from the January subscription boxes. Out of all the items, I think my favourite has to be the petals and poisoned bowls. They are very pretty. And in terms of books, I think the one that I'm most excited to read has to be We Call Them Witches. But I think the one that I think is the prettiest and has the best customizations is definitely Graceless Heart by Isabella Ibanez. I just think this is stunning and I do really like the sprayed edges and I like the art style on this. So I will just hold up the stack so you can see all of these beautiful edges together. And these actually go together quite well, so mostly kind of blues and oranges apart from this white and pink. But yeah, I'm really excited about these. So please do let me know what your favourite customizations were and what your favourite item was, and also if you're excited to read any of these books. Thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!